The following is a non-profit fan-based dub. Tear Ring Saga is owned by Shozuo Kaga and published by Interbrain. Please support the official release.
There was a time when the land was ruled and enslaved by a wicked god. His was a reign of terror and madness, and all who challenged him were consumed in the unholy flames of darkness. But there was a slave who stood up and raised a rebellion against the god's tyranny. However, he could not hope to fight against the god's awesome power. As he lay dying, he prayed to heaven and begged for the strength to face the darkness. At that moment, his wounds were healed, and a fair goddess appeared before him in the form of a great dragon. The goddess said to him, "O brave youth, take up your sword. I grant you the power to conquer evil and bring my peace to this land." The goddess was Tivona, creator of the four guardians and daughter of the mother goddess Miradona. With Tivona's blessings and love, the hero slew the foul god and freed his people. He became king over the land and led his kingdom to a prosperous future. He now rests in peace with his fallen friends, and his children are left to carry on his will. But his spirit of justice and freedom will never perish from this world.
Roonin, there you are. What's the matter? You look a little spaced out.
Oh, Holmes. It's nothing. I was just getting some fresh air.
If you say so. Anyway, we're almost at Welt. Are you and your knights ready to go?
As long as I have my rapier, I'll be fine. Eugen is taking care of the others.
I sure wouldn't want to be one of Rosalia's knights. How do they stand that old geezer jabbering at them all the time?
They look up to him, more or less. After so much fighting against the Empire, all that's left of the Rosalian Knights are young recruits like them. Save Eugen. Eugen went through hell to protect us, and now he can't even swing a sword anymore after all the wounds he suffered. The young knights all understand his pain, so they're doing what they can to repay him.
You're right, he has been dependable. Without Eugen and my old man, we all would have died a long time ago. Oh, it's kind of sad that young guys like us had to be saved by a pair of, shall we say, senior citizens?
I've been meaning to ask you, Holmes. Are we really doing the right thing? Your father told us to escape while he and his men held off the Imperial army, but do we deserve to survive if we had to sacrifice him to get away?
Don't beat yourself up about it, Roonin. It was his choice. Hell, he might not even be dead. He's always been a tenacious little rat.
I do hope you're right. I will pray for Admiral Vuls' safety.
Come on, Roonin. It's not like you to be so sentimental. My old man didn't do this for you, or even for me. He just wanted to stay and fight for what he believed in. When the time comes for us to retake Granada, we'll see him again. I promise you that.
I'll hold you to it. Thanks, Holmes.
Now, forget about my old man. This is actually pretty exciting, isn't it? I've always dreamed of traveling the world as an adventurer and seeking out legends. Now that my old man let me go, I can make that dream come true.
An adventure? That sounds like fun.
Yep. I'm gonna gather up some expert thieves and knowledgeable folks. We'll go on all sorts of crazy expeditions. Say, Roonin, why don't you come with me? Aren't you sick of this useless war by now?
Holmes, you know I can't do that.
Don't act so serious, buddy. I was only joking around. I know you've got obligations. Your dad left you quite the responsibility.
Yeah, but someday I'd like to.
Lord Roonin, forgive my interruption, but the Isle of Welt has been sighted.
Ah, so it has. No more time to be shooting the breeze, eh? Okay, Roonin. I'll drop you off at Port Sora. Fort Welt isn't too far from there.
Thank you, Holmes. Get everyone ready to depart, Eugen.
Yes, my lord.
Hey, you want me to guard you? You look like you're going to have trouble swinging your lance with those thin arms of yours.
I most certainly do not need a guard. Besides, I'd be better off without a complete novice like you as a bodyguard.
Well, aren't you quick-witted? I like that. I'm Arcus, from Rosalia. What's your name?
I can't believe an airhead like you is serving under that calm and collected Lord Ronan. Why do you want to know my name? If that was a pickup line, then I'm afraid I've heard far better.
Don't be ridiculous. What's wrong with wanting to know your fellow soldiers? I may still be new, but this is my 17th battle. I've seen hundreds of my comrades fall in battle, but I remember all of their names. They were all my precious companions. But fine, if you're that opposed to it, I won't pry. It's just one less name that I have to memorize.
Hundreds?
What's the matter? You look pale. Don't tell me my story scared you.
Why would I be... Alright, fine. I'll tell you my name. I'm Esther, daughter of Count Marlin. But I won't ask you to remember me.
Esther. What a lovely name. I'll be sure to remember it. See you around, Esther.
This is it, Arcus. Don't go making any foolish mistakes.
As if you need to tell me. Besides, I've got something to look forward to. I can't go dying here.
Something you're looking forward to? Oh, my. What could it possibly be?
What, Esther? Are you picking a fight with me?
Arcus, Sir Eugen is glaring at you.
This is amazing! Hey, Christ, it's been years since we've had food this good, eh?
Yes, but it pains me to think that our people back in Rosalia may very well be starving as we speak.
Come on, let's not ruin the mood. Now that we've succeeded in recruiting troops from Welt, we are ready to go back to the mainland. We'll take back our country in no time.
Well, you've changed your tune. Weren't you saying the exact opposite just a few days earlier?
I was just having a bad day. I know that Lord Roonin always has Rosalia's best interests at heart. I'm ashamed that I doubted him even for a second. From now on, I'll never falter in my loyalty, no matter what happens.
Of course.
Enjoying yourself, Arcus?
Ah, hello, Esther. We've got fine wine, a delicious feast, and the beautiful traditional dances of Welt. What more could we ask for?
I heard from Christ that you have a fiancé back in Rosalia. Aren't you worried about her?
You mean Christ's sister? That was just something our parents decided on without consulting us. We're not really lovers. Besides, Lena's still just a kid.
Her name's Lena, huh? And how old is she?
Let me think. I think she's turning 14 this year.
That's quite old enough to be a lady. Shouldn't treat her like a child.
You think so? I was a mischievous little demon when I was her age.
Oh, really? I guess you haven't changed much then. If she's Christ's sister, she's probably too good for you.
Hey now, that was uncalled for.
Sorry. It was a bad joke. See you around, Arcus. I hope you and Lena make a happy couple. Arcus, have you seen my lord brother? I've been looking for him for a while, but...
Methinks the little lady should be more forthcoming with her feelings. Otherwise, her lord brother can hardly be blamed for avoiding her, can he?
As if a bonehead like you could understand. And quit talking like that, it's ridiculous.
Ooh, her sharp fangs of wit lash out. But miss, were I to pick the most fitting word to describe thee, Esther, it'd be spoiled. Where's Raffin? Where's my big bro? Listen to yourself. It's like you can't even function unless your precious Raffin is doting on you.
You ass! How dare you lecture me? You don't know anything about me!
Hey, I'm not the one with issues here. By the way, can you catch?
What do you mean? Ah! Get off of me, you drunken oaf! What do you think you're doing? Falling over like that? Ugh, you're so infuriating.
It's not like I fell over on purpose. Man, that girl slaps hard.
Greetings, Prince Richard. I am Brunin of Rosalia. It is an honor to be invited to the great palace of Mal.
Lord Runin, surely there is no need for such forced pleasantries at a time like this. After the fiasco at the Battle of Bolt, trying to aid your homeland, I fought tooth and nail every day on the front lines. Seeing a mere boy like you carry yourself like a hero makes me sick to my stomach.
If you're looking for sympathy, Prince Richard, you should try elsewhere.
Oh, I was expecting you to run off crying to your advisor. You're more mature than I'd anticipated.
Prince Richard! One more insult out of your half-witted, lopsided mouth, and I shall...
Enough, Eugen. Why do you try me, Prince Richard? Surely the Lion Prince of Mal has better things to do than to insult his guests. Historia has allied itself with the Empire. Now that you've reclaimed Mal Palace, no doubt they're already preparing to retaliate en masse. Alone, Mal would be unable to repel Historia in the north, and the Empire in the east. But if I am to advance east into the heart of the Empire, I will need Mal to cover my flank. Don't you understand, Prince Richard? Alliance is the only path we have left to us.
Agreed. Everything you've said is true, Lord Runin. We have no other choice. We have insufficient troops to hold off both Astoria and the Empire. Your assistance is exactly what we need. However, my past alliances, both at Bolt and here in Leda, have been betrayed. Many of my soldiers were lost, and I have been cursing my foolishness ever since. Thus, I felt the need to test your character as a leader. I apologize for my harsh words.
I think I understand you a bit more now, Prince Richard. We have both been fighting enemies whose armies vastly outnumber our own. A single move from an ally could determine your victory or defeat. Your cautiousness is all the more proof of your sincerity and dedication.
It seems some of the rumors about you are indeed true, Lord Runan. You do your father proud. Now then, I would like to introduce Princess Tia, leader of the new Leda Liberation Army.
Excellent. I'd hope to meet with her as soon as possible.
Princess Tia is a direct descendant of the old royal family of Leda. To nations like Marl, founded on the soil of the Old Kingdom, she embodies our hope for the restoration of our lands. I ask that you give her your highest respect.
I understand.
Princess Tia, this is Lord Runan of Rosalia.
Pleased to meet you, Lord Runan. I am Tia, daughter of Marquess Trent. I understand that you have accepted an alliance with our forces. You have my most sincere thanks.
Not at all, Princess Tia. However, if we are to be working together, I must ask. Of the Leyden nations, only Samaria has remained neutral so far. Latvia and Trent have already joined you, and Ariel is assisting from the north. Venet was captured by Historia, but they will soon be dealt with. Are you planning to conquer all of them to revive the old kingdom of Leda?
Watch your tongue, Lord Runan. You are being disrespectful.
Hold, Richard. Lord Runan, I do not wish for the destruction of the current order of things. Nor do I aim to resurrect the fallen kingdom. I have only one goal. One thing that I absolutely must accomplish, and for which I am willing to go to any lengths. It is for that cause that I am uniting the scattered people of Leda. The battle with Historia is merely a stepping stone toward that goal.
And what is this objective? Or will you tell us?
I will annihilate the cult of Gurksel and kill Pontiff Gwen Chaos. That is my mission.
Kill Gwen Chaos.
If I do not do this, I and my descendants will be forced to live out our days in terror. I have chosen a path to confront my fears rather than to run from them.
That's quite enough, Lord Runan. Please, do not tire the princess further with your interrogations.
Gwen Chaos is my enemy as well, Princess Tia. Not long ago, he murdered the good Master Eisenbach of Mars in cold blood. If there is anything I can do to help.
Thank you, Lord Runan. But for now, your alliance against the Empire is more than enough. I will be praying for your victory. Utona's grace be with you, Lord Runan.
It's been a long time, bastard of Granada. I heard that you abandoned your own home and left your father to die.
Abandoned? I never expected to hear such a complicated word come from your mouth, Richard. Good to see you've been expanding your vocabulary. But yes, I left Granada and Admiral Vuls, just like you left Maul and your own father.
Don't even pretend for a second that you and I are similar. Unlike you, I have returned valiantly and reclaimed my homeland from Astoria.
Well, you always were a tenacious little worm, picking up an orphan girl from who knows where and calling her Leda's lost princess. I can only assume you're trying to conquer all of Leda for yourself. You're no better than Emperor Bahanuk.
I was entertaining the idea of allying with Granada, since it would be advantageous to have a maritime trade partner who is also a friend of Runan's. However, I am reminded now that Runan does not keep the most trustworthy of friends. Now be gone. I am busy preparing for the continued fight against Astoria.
Well, that went about as well as could be expected.
Wait, Sir Holmes! I apologize for Prince Richard's brashness. Please don't be upset with him.
And just who are you?
I'm Tia, daughter of Marquess Trent.
Ah, so you're the fabled Princess of Leda. Have you ever read the poems of the White Sage Morse? One of them goes like this. The goddess's blessing will be revoked, and the kingdom will fall into ruin. But in the years thereafter, Leda's daughter will appear. Clad in armor of gold, she will lead her scattered people and restore the kingdom to light. It's a nice story, for sure. though some scholars argue that it might be a later addition to his collected works. But, lo and behold, here comes a princess of Leda wearing the prophesied golden armor. It would be absurd for the people of Leda to not look to her in hope after suffering for decades under the boot of infighting warlords like Richard's father.
You don't believe I'm the real princess?
I know what kind of person Richard is. Thanks to my father's connections, I'm well acquainted with Maul's and Sene's leaders. I knew him as a kid. I fought with him, drank wine with him. When he was little, he boasted that he would one day reunite all 7 of Leda's kingdoms. From there, would unite the continent and become an emperor like Carluan the Great. Seems he's trying to make that childhood fantasy a reality.
So you're saying I'm being used by Richard? Is that it?
I'm saying it doesn't matter whether you are the real princess of Leda or not. Sure, he'll keep you around while you're still useful, but once he's through with you, he'll throw you away like trash. He might even make you a martyr.
No! He would never do that. I know him. And he would never betray someone he loves.
I'd heard that Richard had gotten engaged, but I didn't expect... It seems I've spoken out of line. I wish you two the greatest happiness. Now, if you'll excuse me.
No! Wait!
Surely you haven't bought into these stories. They're vicious lies, all of them.
Come now, Cornell. I happen to know for a fact that the brigands attacking Selba are in your employ. You and I have nothing to fear. Prince Barker is powerless against Gerxel. Soon the cults will have control over all of Liberia.
You are no fool, Pavlov. In that case, I shall be direct. I have a little favor to ask from you.
A favor, you say? Well, I certainly cannot refuse a request from an old friend.
I would like for you to keep a certain Sallin rebel in prison for me. We captured her just this last week, but it's too risky for me to keep her in Selva. Would you kindly keep her here for the time being, Pavlov?
A Sallin rebel, you say? One of Lionheart's dogs, I presume? Why not save yourself the trouble and simply execute her?
Execute her? Ridiculous! I'd like to keep my head on my shoulders.
Ha! Where has your manhood gone, Cornell? Are you that afraid of a band of sewer rats?
You don't understand, Pavlov. You have no idea how vicious Lionheart can be.
If you say so, Cornell, very well. Leave the girl to me. I'll even throw in a little extra. I shall get her to tell me the location of Lionheart's base, so you can crush him once and for all. And if she chooses to remain silent... Ready to talk, you stubborn wench? Or would you prefer more flogging? Ah! You bitch! You dare spit on me? I'll teach you to defy me, woman! Take that! And that! And that!
Lord Pavlov, the prisoner has fallen unconscious.
Then throw more water on her, you dolt! I'm not done with her yet.
Lord, if we continue any further, the prisoner will likely die. I would suggest stopping for today.
Very well. Throw her into the dungeon and report to me when she regains consciousness. Also, have a stake and firewood prepared in the city square.
Is she to be executed, my lord?
Of course! She will burn at the stake for all to see. What a sight it will be!
Who goes there?
I'm Mintz of the Black Knights. Can you tell me where General Ernst is? I just got here. I still don't know my way around the place.
You fool! This is Count Pavlov's private chambers! Leave at once!
Hold, Black Knight. I have a task for you.
Yes, my lord.
Take this prisoner to the dungeon. Hand her over to the prison guards and they will take care of the rest.
Sure, that's simple enough. Leave it to me. Which way is the dungeon? Finally awake, huh? How are you feeling? What was going on before? Why was Pavlov beating up a young lady like you?
You don't know anything?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I'm exhausted. I want to rest a little longer.
Have a nice nap? Seems like the medicine helped a bit. Your fever's gone, at least.
You stayed here in the dungeons with me? You were by my side this whole time?
Well, I wasn't so much by your side as letting you sleep on my lap.
Oh, goodness.
That didn't come out right. Yes, I've just been sitting here.
Oh, no. That's not what I was thinking. Thank you, sir.
I'm Mintz. I'm from Canaan. What's your name?
It's Leonie. I'm from Selba, in Salia.
Leonie, eh? How pretty. I've always liked Salian names. Well, Miss Leonie, I don't think a cell like this is befitting for a young lady like yourself. I'm gonna go have a chat with my superior, and then I'll come get you out. Just stay here and keep your head down for a little while longer. Got it? General Ernst, long time no see, my friend.
There you are, Mintz. Good to see you safe and sound. I was told you got out on good behavior and managed to get yourself assigned to me.
Yeah, it was a tough choice between you and the slave camps in Zoa. But I figured the army would be better for sightseeing.
Right you are. I can't offer quite as luxurious accommodations as the camps, but I do hope they'll suffice for you. I must say, we've got it pretty good. I haven't seen or heard any of those damn Gurksel priests for weeks. Right now, we of the 15th Corps are assigned to prevent the enemy from advancing through these grasslands. So long as they don't get too close, we won't even have to fight. Enjoy your break while it lasts.
What if Fort Sine needs reinforcements and Pavlov calls for you?
No one cares about Pavlov. I'd sooner resign and name you my replacement than go to his aid.
Oh, poor Pavlov. Well, that's a load off my mind. Oh, one more thing, General. If I were to suddenly disappear, what would you do?
Oh, probably weep to myself pathetically in my private quarters. To be honest, I'm curious why you haven't already disappeared. It's not like you have family to worry about.
Well, wouldn't it be trouble for you?
What are you talking about? I'm not going to be court-martialed just because a known troublemaker deserted.
You've got a point. You're a good man, General. Take care of yourself. I'll be going then. I might have to kill a couple of Pavlov's soldiers on my way out, but please, don't think too badly of me.
Feeling anxious, girlie? Being burnt alive must be oh so painful. But if you beg for forgiveness, I might just release you. I could use a cute little girl like you among my other ladies.
You pig! If you're going to do it, get on with it. You don't frighten me.
You spit on me again! Men, light the fire now! You can pile the rest of the wood on after it's nice and hot.
Mother, Father, I will return to the goddess's embrace.
Pavlov, you're a dead man.
Who the hell are you? Please, stop! Don't kill me!
If you don't want to die, then you'll let that girl free.
Ah! Alright, I get it. Guards, free the girl.
Leonie, come here.
Mince! You really came!
Of course. I keep my promises. I'll take care of these buffoons. You just get away from here. And don't get caught again.
But...
Do it! Now!
Right.
So, Lord Pavlov, just sit tight for a little bit. As soon as she's far away, I'll let you go. Probably.
Bastard! You won't get away with this!
The Reaper of Shram.
Do I know you?
Do you remember a warrior named Altair? He was an Astorian mercenary who wielded dual swords.
How could I forget? He was a swordsman of remarkable skill. I suppose you must have been a friend of his.
Yes, I was. 7 years ago, he was my entire world.
Oh, I see. That girl who seized me and demanded that I give him back. That must have been you. You were just a delicate little flower back then. It's saddening to see what you become.
You have no right to criticize me! The fight was over. Altair was down, and then you beheaded him without even blinking! I will never forgive you!
If I hadn't brought my employer his head, then they wouldn't have paid me. It's as simple as that. If Altair had won, he would have killed me, too. So what do you want after all these years? If it's revenge, that'll be impossible. You could never best me.
I know that I can't beat you myself. But I promise you this. I will see you dead. I just wanted you to know that.
I welcome you, Chell. I will give you one chance. But if you fail, you die. What's your name, girl?
Krishna. Don't forget it, Reaper. Shigen, do you have a minute?
Krishna? This is an odd surprise. Need something?
There's something I need you to do for me. Please, I'll do anything you ask.
What's the request? Something only I can do?
I need you to kill Vega.
Really? He's pretty shady, but he's a decent guy. Why do you want me to kill him?
7 years ago, he killed my lover, Altair. I've searched for him for so long, but even though I found him, I don't have the skill to kill him myself.
So, you want me to do it for you? That's probably the most selfish favor anyone's ever asked me for.
I won't make excuses. But you're the only one I know who can even keep up with Vega. Please, Shigen, I'll do anything for you. Anything.
Whoa. Whoa, knock it off! Don't try and seduce me! I'm sorry, Krishna, but I can't help you. Wait. Are you crying?
Every day of my life for the last 7 years has been hell because of what that man did. He ruined my life. Even so, he pitied me. Can you believe it? He said it was a shame I'd changed, even though it was all his fault. Oh, Shigen, I don't know what to do.
Stop it! Don't pour all your troubles on me! Just cheer up, okay? I'll challenge him for you.
Really? Thank you, Shigen.
But not right now. The next time we're both on the battlefield, I'll settle things with him for you. But since I'm doing this for you, I want you to be there. Got it?
Of course. I look forward to it.
There you are, Vega. Ready to begin our duel?
Shigen, I'm glad you actually showed up. I've been starved for competent opponents.
I know I could win with my Duelahan, but it wouldn't feel like a real victory if I did. We'll both use these scimitars. Agreed?
Fine by me.
Krishna, you're our witness. Don't let anyone else interfere.
I won't. Shigen, don't die.
Take a look in the mirror. Make sure this is what you want to look like when you die.
I should have expected no less from the one called the Reaper.
Your technique. You're just like the rune blade of Zoa.
At this rate, they'll both... That's enough! Stop! Both of you!
This isn't over yet!
Now this is a battle I can enjoy!
It's time I show you what I can really do.
Stop it! Please stop! For Youtona's sake!
Get out of the way, Krishna! This isn't about you anymore!
He's right. It's just him and me now.
Somebody, please! Holmes! Holmes, help me stop them! They're going to kill each other!
Do you have a death wish, Krishna? There's no stopping a duel once it's begun. You started this, and it's your responsibility to see it through to the end.
I understand that, but... this isn't what Altair would have wanted. Those two fight with the pride of warriors, and I've soiled their art with my stupid plans for revenge. Altair would be ashamed of me. I can't let it end like this!
Finally coming to your senses, eh? Alright, I'll help you out. Knock it off, you two! I order you to stop fighting!
Holmes, how dare you!
Captain's orders, huh? Fine. We'll call it a draw. But you owe me big time for this, Holmes.
Your son, right? One of the exiles from Canaan? My name's Frau. I heard you were a knight in training too.
Yup. My mother's General Silva, leader of the Black Knights of Arles. They're the strongest fighting force on the whole continent. She was the one who freed the northeastern zone lands from the Empire's clutches. You've at least heard of her, right?
Sure, she's impressive, but the Black Knights aren't the only strong forces around. There's the Sophian Wyvern Knights, the legions under the warlord Temujin, and besides, the title of strongest army in Liberia belongs to the Pegasus Knights of Salia, who my big sister Verna fights for. Now they're cool!
The Pegasus Knights are headed to Ariel too, right? Just like my mother. I heard she's going to be fighting against followers of the cult of Gerxel there. But she's leaving me behind because I'm still a child. You don't think I'm a child, do you?
No way! My big sisters treat me the same way. They're out fighting in the war, but they told me to just stay and watch the house. They always look down on me like that.
Sounds like we're pretty similar.
Sign! I have an idea! Let's work hard and train together with Lord Lionheart. We'll show your mothers and my big sisters just how great we can be.
I'd love to, Frau. But will it be alright with training us?
Don't worry about that. Lord Lionheart might seem like a tough guy, but he's got a soft spot for girls. Besides, he's my uncle too. There's no way he'll say no.
Really? Then I'm in. Partners?
Partners! Hey, let's go ask him right now.
Madam, one glass of milk, please.
One for me too.
Here you go, girls. Make sure you drink all of it so you can grow up big and strong.
I'm already taller than Frau, so I'm not worried about that.
Huh? You're not? She's not taller than me. Is she, madam?
Barkeep! We ought to close up for today. A band of thieves just wandered into the city.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, girls, you heard the man. Go on home and find a safe place.
Son! This is our big chance. We can take care of a band of thieves.
Are you sure? I think we should at least tell Lord Lionheart before we do anything.
If we tell him, he'll just send his own knights to take care of it, and we'll never get to fight. But if we surprise him with our skill like this, he and the other knights will stop treating us like kids.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do this, Frau.
Frau, what are you doing here in Blood?
Martel, I was just...
Oh, never mind that. We'll discuss this later. Put down that weapon now, and come with me.
Yes, sis.
And tell that other girl with you to stop fighting too. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Hey, son. It turns out they're not bandits after all.
Oh, whoops. I guess we should go apologize, huh?
Yeah. I bet Lord Lionheart is gonna be furious with us.
Son, what are you standing around for? If you call yourself a knight, then you better fall in line with the others.
Right. Understood, General.
Your mother's really scary, son. She's just like Martel.
Nah, she's not scary. She's really a very nice person. She's just had a lot of responsibilities to take care of ever since Prince Arliss passed away. So she has to be tough. We still love each other, even when we don't act like mother and daughter.
Huh. You're really cool. You know that? I should learn more from you.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. You're cool and independent. I've always relied on my big sisters to look out for me. But you're able to take care of yourself just fine. Even though we're the same age, I'm still a child compared to you.
I don't think you're a child, Frau. You're kind and dependable. We've been great partners these last couple months, haven't we? The only reason I've made it this far is because you've been there the whole way. It's been a blessing to fight alongside you. I'll never forget about the things we've been through for as long as I live. It's really hard to say goodbye. But I'll still be rooting for you and praying for you back in Canaan. Take care of yourself, Frau.
Don't act like this is the end. We'll be best friends forever, son. Promise me, okay?
You're right. It's a promise, Frau. Forever and ever.
Hello, Zieg.
Sis? What are you doing here?
I started to get worried when you stopped sending your regular reports. So I thought I'd pay you a visit. You haven't abandoned your mission, have you?
Of course not. His Excellency has asked me to keep watch on the Shaman of Water, and that's what I've been doing. You should have more faith in me, sis.
Whatever you say, Zieg. Regardless, His Excellency wanted me to tell you that your mission is complete. There are more pressing tasks for us ahead, and we need every one of our warriors.
I understand, as His Excellency commands. Sister.
You can't go soft on me now, Zieg. We've come too far to stop now. Or have you forgotten what the Reevens did to us and our family?
No, sister, I just...
Ever since the Leiden Crusade, people across Liberia became paranoid of Zoans. You were too young to remember. But even successful merchants like our parents were subjected to wanton discrimination. Then, one day, Reeve's soldiers invaded our home and arrested us. All 7 of us were taken, just because our mother was a Zoan. They tortured them, forcing them to confess they were servants of Gurksel. And then they were publicly executed in the town square. Our own neighbors gathered around us and raised their fists, shouting, "Death to Zoans! Death to traitors!" They murdered our parents and our older sisters right in front of us. I know you remember that.
Yes.
You and I were 4 and 7. And Reevan law prohibited the execution of children under 13. So, we were thrown in the prison camps. For 5 long years, we suffered in those pits with all the other Zoan children.
Yes, sister, I remember.
And when I turned 13, it was my turn. I still remember the faces of the people who came to my execution. Smiling, laughing, shouting. Fellow Reevens calling for my death, even after I'd suffered so much. But then Gwen Chaos appeared, and he saved me from the stake. He taught me sorcery, and how to defend myself against the Zoan hunters. He may not be a Zoan himself, but the hatred he feels for the pagans who slaughtered our people is genuine. The only way we can truly revive our people is to revive our nation, the Zoa Empire. We're the only ones who can do it. If we don't, our children and our children's children will forever be despised for their heritage, with no redemption.
Yes, but...
Don't you understand how much I've sacrificed for this opportunity, Zieg? I met Shigen among the other Zoa refugees, and we had our son. But His Excellency had a duty he required of me. I had to leave the man and son I loved so much and go serve as a concubine for that withered old man, Bahanuk. But I endured it all. Even when Shigen betrayed me, I endured it to carry out His Excellency's will. I replaced the queen and cajoled the king, and Kanan moved as the pontiff willed. Do you know why I was so loyal, Zieg? Why I was ready to endure anything to get control of Bahanuk?
Because I was still imprisoned.
Yes. I made Bahanuk invade Reeve in the hopes of rescuing you. When I learned that you had been freed, I couldn't hold back my tears.
Duke Grammond tried to have us freed, but it wasn't until the Imperial Army came that we were released. I am eternally grateful for everything you've done for me, sister, and I've not forgotten the grudge of our people.
It was unforgivable what they did to you. Looking at all the scars on your body, I still don't know how you managed to survive through all of that for 25 brutal years.
It was my anger and my prayers to God that sustained me through it all. I will have revenge on them. That thought alone kept me going.
And we will have our revenge, Zieg. When Gurksel is revived, our people will be liberated from their suffering. I will do anything to see this through. I threw away my husband and child so that I might protect the children of Zoa.
I'm sorry, sister. I know the rage you feel, that I felt, but I have lost my way. I would never betray you, but...
Just think of our people, Zieg. When Gurksel is revived, they will be saved. For the sake of the ceremony, the pagans must not be allowed to reach the pontiff. Do you understand me, Zieg?
I understand. I will defend this passage with my life. You can leave it to me, sister.
Thank you, Zieg. I too wish things didn't have to be this way. That we could start over. and live out our childhood days as a normal family. I know this has not been easy for you, but liberation will soon come.
Sister.
Just leave me alone, Shigen. I'm not in the mood.
That's exactly the point! Shut up and come with me, will you?
Where the hell are you taking me, Shigen? We've been walking for half an hour already.
Quit your whining, Holmes! See that little house over there? That's where we're going.
And what's in there?
The reason I brought you here.
Admiral, your stew is ready.
Be a dear and bring it to me, will you?
Of course, Admiral. How does it taste?
I have to say, it's...
You! So you are alive! What the hell are you doing, old man?
Have you gone blind? I'm eating, you idiot child. Here I am, still recovering from the wounds I took to help you escape. And this is the welcome I get?
Whatever, old man. While you were sitting here on your ass, I went and reclaimed the city for you. So, you're welcome for that.
I already knew that. That's why I sent word to Shigen to bring you here.
Why didn't you just come see me yourself? Could have saved everybody the trouble.
You've made this far too spicy, girl. It tastes like you ground a whole jar of peppercorns into this stew.
Do forgive me, Admiral. I'll have to adjust the recipe.
Yes, please do.
Are you even listening to me, old man? Go back to the city and take care of things.
Shut up and learn some patience, boy. Besides, I'm retired from all that. Granada's in your hands now.
Don't you push your responsibilities on me. I don't want to be in charge of Granada.
Blah blah, I want to be an adventurer, blah blah blah. It's time you learned what real work is. Girl, bring out my old sword and armor so I can give them to my son. It's time you stopped playing archer and took up a real weapon for once. If you're going to be the Lord of Granada, then you're going to damn look the part. Shigen, make him change his clothes.
Come on, Holmes. Be a good boy and change. Do as your daddy says.
Get away from me, you traitor! I'm not doing this! Hey!
There. Now you look like my son instead of some dirt-covered pirate ragamuffin.
Hey! Looking sharp, Holmes.
Shut up, Shigen.
Now get out of here, you idiot. And take a bath, for goodness sake. You're soiling my air here.
Admiral, would you like me to massage your shoulders?
Ah, yes, please.
He's even more insufferable than I remember. I won't forget this, you senile old fool!
Quit complaining, Holmes. Would you have preferred a teary, heartfelt reunion with hugs and kisses? I don't think I've ever seen your father more proud of you than he was back there.
Don't give me that bullshit. He hates me just as much as I hate him.
He's a proud man, just like you. He's never admitted his real feelings out loud. You just don't like being reminded how similar the two of you really are. You know what that girl back there told me? She said that before General Zion came here, there was an awful-tempered man called Previa in charge of this city. He'd have people arrested by the dozen, executed just for looking at him funny. She and your father ran an underground railroad, breaking people out of prisons and sneaking them out of the city. They saved hundreds of lives. Your father's been doing everything he can, enduring day after day under the Empire, waiting for you to return and rescue Granada. Maybe you couldn't tell because you're too busy yelling at him, but he was tearing up seeing how much you've grown in the last year. He named you his successor, didn't he? You gotta admit, he believes in you.
Don't tell me he sucked you in too. What? Did he say what lonesome and painful days he's been enduring too? Do you have the lead for brains, Shigen? All he wants to do is for someone else to take all the responsibilities off his shoulders. Didn't you see how he's got that girl slaving over his every whim? That's all he wants to do.
Is that what this is about? Afraid of getting a new stepmother?
Ha! Don't make me laugh. Maybe you haven't heard this about my dad, but he's got lady friends all over Liberia. Tivona knows how many hundreds of siblings I've got these days thanks to that creep.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Alright, so he's not the best role model. He's still not the wicked man you always make him out to be.
You only say that because you didn't have to deal with him as a father.
Pleased to meet you, Lord Holmes. Thank you for looking after Atrium, and I'm sorry for making things difficult for you during the battle earlier. If there's anything I can do...
Jeez, enough with the formalities. You're alive. That's all that matters. Though I wasn't expecting you to be Sallin. I mean, Atrium said he was adopted, but I'd always pictured you as a Reeven. How'd he end up with you?
Let's see. I was 17 at the time, so it was 11 years ago. My father and I were at a village called Alcusi near Blad, tending to sufferers from a recent epidemic. Atrium and his mother were travelers passing through the village, and they became very ill. Neither of them were from the region either, so they had it particularly bad. His mother passed away within 2 days. Atrium was only 5 at the time, but he was a real fighter. Father assigned his care to me, and I stayed by his side until he got better. It took about a whole month until he was well enough to travel. And then I took him home with us to the temple at Blad. He's been part of our family ever since.
I see. When we first met Atrium, he said he never really knew where he came from.
Yes. He said that as far as he remembered, he and his mother had been traveling from village to village seeking food. The only clue we have is that his mother kept mumbling for a man named Valentinius to look after her son. We assumed it was her brother's name, or maybe Atrium's father, but we never did know for sure.
Forget I said anything.
Beg your pardon?
Let's talk about something else. Atrium always bragged about how you could smite the undead like nobody's business. Is that true?
It's really nothing special. It's just this staff I have.
He also said you can whisk people away across the continent.
I can't do anything that impressive. Maybe a couple 100 yards at most with my teleportation staff.
No need to be so modest. That's better than I can do. Anyway, we'll be headed back to Salia eventually, so you're welcome to come along. I'm sure Atrium will be happy.
Thank you. You're very kind, Lord Holmes.
I thought Atrium looked familiar, but I never would have thought it was because of Valentinius.
What are you sulking about now? Got a grudge against people named Valentinius or something?
As a matter of fact, yes! Valentinius is the name my old man uses when he's out hitting on chicks.
Is that so? That's a pretty sweet alias.
No, it's not. It's terrible. My old man's always been awful with names. For example, what kind of name is Holmes?
At least you got a normal name. With one like Sheegan, people don't even have to look at me to know I'm Zoan.
Wasn't that your real father's name, though? It's got a history to it.
Yeah, I'm proud of it and all, but it can make life difficult.
Well, names aside, I feel sorry for Atrium. Let's keep this our secret, alright? At least till he's a bit older. I don't want that kid to go off himself after learning his father's such a piece of work.
What's the matter, Inta? Why are you here all by yourself?
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. But why are you here in this room?
This was your room, wasn't it, Lord Roonan?
That's right. It was. When I was a child, at least. Those wall scrolls were my late mother's, and Father gave me that toy sword. This place makes me feel so nostalgic.
I see.
I never let Holmes see this room. I must have thought it looked too childish or something for anyone else to see. Though there was one girl who saw it once. When I was 5 or 6 years old, Father brought a little girl to the castle and asked me to play with her. She was such a kind girl too. Though thinking about her always makes me a bit sad.
Why?
It was a pretty silly thing in retrospect. We were just little kids then, but at the time, it felt very important.
Important?
Yes. I gave that little girl my word. I promised her.
What did you promise her?
She was crying, so I said to her, "Don't cry. I'll protect you." I promised I would take care of her.
Oh.
When she first arrived, she was shaking and crying in that corner there. Her guardian had told her that she was destined to be reborn as a terrifying dragon and burn the kingdom of Reeve to the ground. That's why she was crying. So I told her that I would never let that happen. I vowed I'd watch over her forever. After that, she did her best to be happy. She promised she would never leave my side, but still, one day, she suddenly vanished. I know we were only kids, Enta, but I was absolutely furious with you.
Lord Runen, you finally remembered?
I never forgot, Enta. Although, I didn't know you were the real princess until Lady Clary hinted at it. I grew up without a mother or siblings, so you were the first girl that I ever really knew. We were only together for a month, Enta, but while you were here, you were part of our family. And then, you were gone, just like that. You were taken away to the palace, and you never came back. I felt I lost everything. I cursed you for abandoning me. I didn't know about the hardships you had to endure all those years. I resolved to try and forget about you. It was too much for a child to bear alone. Enta.
Enta. Your father was the one who gave that name to me. He stole me away from the water shrine so that I could live my life in peace as a commoner here. That short time I spent here in Roselia were the happiest days of my life. We laughed and played without a care in the world. You were my one and only friend, Runen.
And then, after you were freed, continued hiding under the assumed name of Enta.
Well, I'd rather go by Enta instead of my real name.
Did you never think of reaching out to me? After Sage Myos freed you, not once did you even think to contact me or my father. And then, when we finally met again in Welt, you acted like as if you'd never seen me before. Don't you understand how much pain you've caused me?
How could you? How can you even say that?
Because it's true. You've been lying to me all this time.
That's not what happened. You're the one who...
Are you in here, Lord Runen? Oh, Lady Enta. I do hope I'm not interrupting.
No, General Eugen. We were finished speaking. Please, excuse me.
Lord Runen, I don't know what happened between you two, but it's not right to make a woman cry.
Leave me alone, Eugen.
Lord Roonin, a multitude of aristocrats from all across Reeve are flocking here. What shall I tell them?
Aristocrats? Well, what do they want?
Nothing good, I'm sure. They're most likely just trying to get into your good graces, Lord Roonin. Now that Reeve is back in power, they're hoping you'll restore them to their old positions of authority. They're shamelessly self-serving.
Even if you're right, we can't afford not to see them at this point. Let them pass.
Yes, my lord.
Good day, Lord Roonin. On behalf of the royal family, I wish to thank and congratulate you on liberating the palace. We are all in awe of your valor.
Count Tatus? I didn't think you were still alive.
I managed to escape the prying eyes of the Empire and hid myself in the castle town until today. These last 2 years have been difficult. How can you expect people like us to rule effectively if you soldiers won't do your job? You'd be wise not to let such a disgrace happen ever again, Lord Roonin.
I'll go fetch one of the servants, Lord Roonin. This room's going to need a good mopping now that this oily slug's gone and dragged his hideous self through here.
You insolent bastard! I'll have you know, you are speaking to a member of the royal family.
So, what is it that you want from me?
I've come with news of great importance to all of Reeve. With the return of Princess Maeve, the Kingdom of Reeve can be fully restored. Naturally, of course, I have asked Her Highness for her hand in marriage. As you have been her protector for so long, I came here as a courtesy so that you could offer us your blessing.
Is that so? What does Her Majesty think of this?
She has agreed to leave the matter to me.
Really?
You have no objections, I trust? Then please, join us in the throne room.
Right.
Lord Roonin, I present to you the heiress to the throne of the Kingdom of Reeve, Her Highness Princess Maeve. Your Highness, this is Lord Roonin, son of Duke Gramoud of Roselia, and the one who liberated this royal castle from the clutches of the Zoa Empire. He has requested to be granted an audience with your Highness.
Lord Roonin.
Ahem. Her Highness wishes to express her joy that you have remained so steadfastly loyal to the royal family of Reeve. As fiancé to Her Highness, I also wish to express my gratitude to you, and it is my sincere hope that you will continue to endeavor in your loyalty to us.
I'm afraid that won't be happening.
What did you say? Lord Roonin.
I could never swear loyalty to a man like you, Tatus.
How dare you? You don't approve of our engagement?
Of course not. I will never accept this.
Why, you insolent brat!
That's enough, Count Tatus. I understand your plight, Lord Roonin. But Count Tatus is the only surviving member of the branch families, and thus the only eligible candidate. If you will not espouse the kingship yourself, this is my only choice. The people of Reeve already await the day you will become their king, Lord Roonin.
But, Your Highness, this simply will not do. As I have said before, it would be unthinkable for a princess to marry someone as lowly as a mere nobleman, with only a maternal connection to the royal line. If you ignore all precedent and make this boy king, our ancient traditions will be lost.
Lord Roonin, When we first arrived here at the capital city, I realized just how little I knew about my own country. The wealthy have become greedy and self-absorbed, without any sympathy for their fellow man. It is truly a pitiful sight. I realized that in order for our holy kingdom to survive, I would have to prune away the brambles that are choking its lifeblood, the common citizens. I knew that if you were with me, Lord Roonin, we could put an end to the aristocratic tyranny that is destroying our homeland, and change this kingdom for the better.
What are you saying? Your Highness?
But alas, my selfish wishes are but a nuisance to you, aren't they, Lord Roonin? You would have nothing to do with me. Do as you will then, Lord Roonin. Once Nalzaria is at peace, I will return to my clerical duties at the Water Shrine. I only ask of you this one thing. Please, do not desert Reeve. I beg of you, Lord Roonin.
For my homeland, I won't falter. So,
For the ladies of Reeve. For all my fallen friends.
Be gone!
Feel the wrath of a well-teased knight. On your knees. Yeah!
May Eutona's grace be upon you. Please, take care.
You wish to challenge me? Perish with the rest.
Care for a death match? Too bad.
My arrows never miss. Eat this!
Ha! What a waste of time. Ha!
I wonder how well you'll die.
Care to play with me?
Ha! Ah! I'll show him what I'm made of. Taste my blade! Ha! Ha! Ha!
I've got this. Thunder! Huh?
Allow me to assist you. I wish you safe travels.
Eutona, grant me strength.
Hiya!
Naive.
Hiya!
this is it. Everyone, brace yourselves.
The swords!
No time! There's our opening!
It's now or never! Strike as one! Ha!
Hiya!
Hut! Yeah!
Be gone! Seek!
Inside your pain and sorrow, never-ending dream still lives close to your wounded heart. Don't fall apart. Let me hold you in my arms so you can rest your soul, drifting through the winds of time, feeling warmth of sweet memories. You realize you're not all alone. Always, I'll be right here by your side. Don't be afraid. Open the door to your heart. You'll find all the dreams that you believe. It's waiting.